everybody, to an episode of Pixels Politics. I'm your host, Dougie. This is episode 23 of Season 3. Today's topics mostly will be about the Iran-Israel-U.S. war. We have a rumor Benjamin Netanyahu is dead, so we're going to look at that. Yeah, I'll go more into it later. I have a lot to say on it. We have some explosions that happened across the U.S. yesterday. I'm trying to dissect them and figure it out. The weird part to me is that there actually isn't that much news on them. However, there were 3 of them within a few hours. So, I don't know. We'll take a peek and see if there's any link. And we just basically some war stuff, to be honest with you. We have like robots getting deployed to Ukraine now. I've got some videos of some of the new technology that the military will be using, and with some more footage, mostly that stuff. So I'm going on a trip here within 4 days to Chicago, and I've kind of taken a smaller break from social media, so I haven't been too deep in the news. However, from what I'm gathered, this is the most that's going on. Just looks like they're just trying their best to do anything to avoid talking about the files. I'm pretty sure we've seen the last of people talking about it. It's exited the zeitgeist. I doubt we'll hear about them again. As a matter of fact, the last post I saw was from the DOJ, and they said that because of the war, they just didn't have time to release any more files. That's what they said. They cited civil unrest and national security as a reason that they couldn't release any more files. There's like 2 senators, I think, one of them being Luna. I forget the rest of her name. Anna Luna, I believe her name is, and like some people on the House committee who are still kind of pulling in some of the people involved, like the security guard that night who took money was teleported into her account. And there's something else about the security guard, I can't remember, but she's getting called in for questioning, and somebody else is too, but I really don't see anything more coming of the files unless somebody from another country gets kind of real caught up in the law, maybe from like Norway or something. But I really just don't see anything more coming of it. Not that we're not going to talk about it. I've still got a long list of people to identify. We still have a ton of content, if you're an Instagram enjoyer, that needs to be posted on there. So yeah, that's kind of the follow-up on that. It's pretty funny because I've spent so much time on the files that whenever I try and I obviously use AI to make thumbnails. I can't imagine how else to make thumbnails instantly every day for these videos. It's just impossible. And the AI will just assume that even though if I tell it, this is what we're going to be talking about, these are the topics, you may make a thumbnail, and then I'll guide it after to like do tailor it. However, because the history is so full of Epstein file stuff, it still throws, even if the episode includes no Epstein stuff, it'll throw in, like nods. Maybe I should leave them in, could be funny, like Easter eggs in the thumbnails, but it'll leave small, like, indicators that it, wants to include Epstein stuff just because of the chat history, and I find it so funny. I'm like, we're not talking about Epstein today, man. Like, remove that. What are you doing? So, yeah, that's kind of the update on the Epstein stuff. You could go through those files fucking forever. Maybe I'll get another email from somebody, from one of them, and that'll, send me back into the frenzy. But I just can't imagine really anything more, at least in the US, anything more coming from those files. It's a lot of kind of side stories that have kicked off from them. It's pretty crazy how many other trafficking rings, like major network trafficking rings, exist in the West. and we saw evidence of them come from the files. So it's created this like web of connections between all these other networks getting exposed. The one of which, of course, being the Masinko one in Mexico. But I've seen some. I keep getting recommended a whole other one. I think it starts with like Homeward or Homebound or something, and a whole other network I've got to look into. I mean, and it's on the list, of course. But again, I've just been kind of taking a small break. To be honest, I've been freaking addicted to Slay the Spire 2. The game is so much fun, and the multi. I don't know. For those who don't know, it's a card game, card game roguelike, and it is just a blast. And I find it so funny because the first game was also really good. However, most people didn't play it or even know it existed. And so this game has just kind of exploded. I think it's mostly because of the multiplayer, but in general, both games are amazing. And I've just been kind of spamming them. And also just prepping for this trip. So, this trip, I am going to Chicago. I'm going to help a friend host a booth. They sell D&D merchandise. It's pretty funny. It's like comedic merchandise, a lot of puns. And I'm helping them host a booth there at GaryCon in Wisconsin. So if you just so happen to be at GaryCon, I believe it's the 18th to the 24th of this month, and you want to stop by, I don't know, we will have a booth. I don't know exactly where it is, to be honest with you. I just kind of signed on, and I just obey and listen. But I'll be there, and if you want to stop by and say hi, that would be super awesome. It'd make my day, make my week. So yeah, if you're there, you just want to come say hi, check out the merchandise, help a brother out. All right, let's jump into the news. I want to start with this video of Ben Shapiro. Hopefully I'm pulling up the correct one. I fucking hate this guy so much. Oh, this is not it. Let's just start with this. We're talking about the Epstein files. So this Epstein doppelganger was seen in Florida driving in his car. It does really look like him, as you can see. I mean, it looks a lot like him. There's been a ton of these Epstein sightings just all over the place. There's one in Nevada. There's one in New Mexico. And there's one in Israel. There's a bunch in Israel. And now there's one in Florida. I will say, this one is the closest I have ever seen. It looks just like him. Looks just like him. Personally, oh jeez, man, it does look a lot like him. While I think he is probably alive, just based on all the evidence I've seen across the board, and I could honestly fucking put together a whole ass episode on all the evidence that this fucker's still alive. Starting from the guard herself. This one is crazy. This one does look a lot like him. I would just find it so wild that he is just like on a morning drive in Miami. To be honest, I feel like if you're this famous, it's not. First, let's start with, it's not uncommon for this type of thing to happen. For reference, the police usually don't like releasing, we're looking for such and such suspect unless they absolutely have to, because it usually creates a situation where everyone thinks they're seeing said person everywhere, and it creates such chaos it becomes impossible to dissect all of the stories. So they usually don't do that unless they have to. And of course, I think people kind of underestimate how, I don't want to say the lack of diversity humans have among their features, but how many of us look like each other. There's as a white person, thing I often hear from other white people is how all Asians look alike. But, I'm sure they say the same thing about us. And it's not a surprise that it's possible people are seeing a lot of Jeffrey Epstein lookalikes. However, I will say this one looks fucking identical. Absolutely identical to him. No, he was just this poor guy. If it's not him, he's just driving.
Epstein is alive. Epstein is alive.
And it's convertible. And imagine everyone driving by and just sticking their phone out the window, filming you. This poor bastard. If it's not him. But yeah, I thought that shit was funny, so I thought I'd throw it on there. There's been a lot of other sightings. Again, it's not for me. It's not really actionable intelligence in terms of like I can't prove it's him, so it's fun to look at it, but doesn't really do anything for me. All right, Ben Shapiro. If you don't know who he is, he's a I don't even want to call him a right-wing influencer anymore. He is an influencer from the Foreign Intelligence Agency, for and from the Foreign Intelligence Agency on the, what's their network called? I always forget. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But here's a video. This is actually old. We talked about it before. But every time this pops up in my feed, my fucking blood boils.
If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then maybe you should not live here. I mean, that is a real thing. Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up, but the reality is that the history of America is almost literally the opposite of that. The history of America is you go to a place where there is opportunity. And if the opportunities are limited here and they're not changing, then you really should try to think about other places where you have better opportunities.
Here's the crazy part. I'm going to play it again in a second. He's technically not wrong. He's technically wrong. Not wrong. He is wrong on the reasons why there's no opportunity here for young people, why young people feel this way. He's technically not wrong. And honest to God, a lot of Americans are actually following this philosophy or plan on doing it. Now, I'm not going to say why there's no opportunity. I think most of us know at this point. I think our message on the show has been very clear as to why there's no opportunity here in America, or why most young Americans feel like there's not enough opportunity. But there's a lot of stereotypes that play here that seem to be kind of proving themselves true. A certain type of person sitting here telling young Americans, he's talking about us, my type of person, that if we feel like there's no opportunity here, we should leave. And everybody I know who is like me plans on leaving. He's right. When a certain country that we live in, it's been a very common thing for our people, that when we feel like there's no opportunity or there's a better opportunity somewhere else, we just fucking leave. And I don't know why he's so happy about that. Should be the exact opposite thing that you'd want to happen. You would want your country to be full of opportunity for everybody. That's the best thing possible. But he seems quite happy that young people outside himself, people outside his type of person, feel like shit. I don't know a single person in my life who's my age and younger who doesn't want to leave America right now. And I don't mean people without jobs. I'm talking about people who make six figures, even want out of this country. And I'm like, I won't say why. I won't say the reason why. But there's a general vibe that a certain type of people is ruining the country. And they want gone, exactly like he said. So, his type of people ruining the country, my type of people, like he says, plan on leaving. They all plan on leaving. I don't know anyone, a friend of mine, who doesn't want to leave or doesn't feel like they want to leave but they can't. Most people I know actually plan on leaving. They want to move somewhere else. Maybe that's common. Maybe that's been a generational thing. I don't think so, but I'm open to that possibility. I'm just gonna play it again because again, I legally can't say some of the stuff that's going on in my brain when I hear this video, when I see this video.
If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then maybe you should not live here.
Okay, that's fine. He's right. He's a piece of shit. He's definitely a piece of shit. 100%. A lot of people fell away, and a lot of people want to move. my guess is a lot of people will move. And it's because of this. Because of this. Because of himself.
I mean, that is a real thing. Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up, but the reality is that the history of America is almost literally the opposite of that.
It's kind of funny he says that, because I feel like that's not true. That's not what Americans feel. Americans feel like this is supposed to be the land of opportunity, right? That's what most of my generation grew up on. The land of opportunity, meaning there's a lot of options everywhere. There still is. But it's not nearly as much. Last episode, I was talking about how I visited a family member who's much older, like, fucking almost great-grandfather age. And he talked about his life growing up. And he could afford a small apartment, albeit, but on a fucking minimum dollar part-time job. And I'm not flaming him. I'm just flaming the difference in systems here. And a lot of the problem, it kind of bothers me, most people haven't kind of figured this part out, is that it's because they've tanked the value of the dollar into fucking, being worth dirt. They've destroyed it into nothing. Which is, economically, it allows foreigners to come in and compete with the US dollar using their home currency and buying homes. Low supply, high demand equals high prices. And that's at the same time as them taking the value of the dollar. I won't say who did it, but I'll say they're very similar to this person. Same ideology.
A real thing. Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up, but
no, that's not it. I grew up in a society that said you had a lot of opportunity. He definitely grew up with people and a culture that said you had the right to live.
Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up, but
that's not our culture. That's your culture. It's your culture. Our culture just says we live in the land of opportunity and trying to achieve your dream. That's somebody else's.
The reality is that the history of America is almost literally the opposite of that. The history of America is you go to a place where there is opportunity. And
what? In America, you go where there's more opportunity within America. There's not a history of a max exodus of Americans, as far as I'm aware. Native-born Americans. So what the fuck are you on about? In the Manifest Destiny age, you traveled from east to west because you were in the land of infinite possibilities. Okay, you traveled west, you fucking cut down trees, built a log cabin, and villages and cities grew up or were built around that. What are you even saying? That's America's history, or Americans, okay, is we spread out within America, and you take advantage of all the infinite possibilities of opportunities. This nomadic approach, again, does not come from our culture. It comes from his.
If the opportunity opposite of that, the history of America is you go to a place where there is opportunity. And if the opportunities are
yeah, that sounds like some other culture. Doesn't sound like American culture. It sounds like somebody else's culture. Again, I won't say which. I can 100% confirm, by the way, at this point, if you talk specifically about a certain type of people, very similar to the last administration, you get shadow banned. I have 100% confirmed it, so I'm gonna be a little more careful. I'll just say foreign intelligence agency. It's probably already not a good start for not getting shadow banned, but hey, fuck it, I just can't help myself. But again, it's funny that this guy's he's like seeing through the foreign intelligence agency lens, and he's conflating American culture with this foreign culture, this foreign intelligence agency's culture is what I'll keep calling it. And that's what it looks like for him. Nothing that he said is true about, an American. You're, sorry, as far as I can tell, are not American, Mr. Ben Shapiro. You don't sound very American to me. Those are not American values. Never in my American life have I heard, oh, well, if your fucking country sucks, you should leave. As far as I know, our culture is everyone else comes here because their country sucks. But it is funny that this nomadic, opportunistic lifestyle, which is very common with another type of people outside America, is one that he's preaching as American, when it's clearly not.
Limited here, and they're not changing, then you really should try to think about other places where you have better opportunities.
You're right. They are, and they will. And you will be left in the squalor that you have built around you. And we've seen it. We've seen it since the dawn of time. A lot of Americans will probably leave. Most going to East Asia, South America, anywhere other than where white people are being dominated by the Foreign Intelligence Agency. So they will. And then your empire can end in the same fashion that many other empires have fallen. Dying of their own hubris. But I'm sorry, I saw that video. Fucking pissed me off, man. Guy's such a donut. Just so oblivious to what he's preaching. Doesn't understand that he's public enemy number one. Maybe he does and it's on purpose. But hey, plus 7K. Plus 7K. So let's jump to the Iran-Israel stuff. Because it's obviously most pertinent. By the way, I have been saving up a lot of UFO stuff to cover in the future. My thoughts on it might be a little surprising to some. But I've collected so many. It'll be worth an episode on itself. And I want to put a lot of effort into that one. So I don't want to like spruce it in between all these other episodes. So I don't think it's worth it. But the war continues, and again, it's so much noise, a lot of lying, it's a lot of AI content. I mean, there are videos of one country attacking another, and then everyone saying it's the country getting attacked, and it's bombing the other one. I mean, it's just a fucking flurry of chaos. So dissecting it remains quite impossible to be, factually correct. When you see it, just kind of take it with a grain of salt as I show it to you. But explosions are always cool to see. And we have these videos are illegal. Anything coming from the UAE, Saudi Arabia, those countries, it's illegal to post those videos. So anything we get, it's fucking like trickled. This is a video of a drone. I believe it's an attack drone. Could be a missile. I think it's a missile. It's too fast. Hitting an American bank or American company-owned bank, Citibank, there in Dubai. And Iran has declared that it will continue attacking American businesses within the Middle East. So, expect your oil prices to keep continuing to get more and more expensive, by the way. Even still, with the blackout, we have a ton of footage. Just so much footage. And for those who think Israel's untouchable, they're not. They've also been getting blasted. I think there's less footage leaving Israel than there is leaving Saudi Arabia. And Iran is suffering from an internet blackout, basically. Power blackout. So that's why a lot of footage isn't coming from there. They also have their own internet firewall. There's just a lot of obstacles to get information out of these countries. It's kind of wild. Especially with how much we saw kind of at the start. I mean, we could see the fucking rockets leaving their starting position, traveling across the ocean or over a mountain, and then blasting their target. And just to cement kind of the real global impact here, it's not really the rockets. It's not really the people dying, sadly. It is the oil prices skyrocketing. And if you, again, need to know why the U.S. is doing it. It's because Iran supplies China with oil. And if you want to know how bad it is, China, another country with an internet black hole. Here is a video. Again, guys, normally when I show stuff, I'll tell you I'm 100% sure this is real. 100%. You know, if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. Same thing with China. There's a lot. I mean, it's been forever, but there's a lot of. I hate using misinformation, but there's a lot of misinformation about what's coming out of that country, and then again the narrative portrayed about said content. So, you see something, please don't fucking cement it in your brain or take it to heart. But here we have Chinese drivers lining up to get gas because, again, they know that gas prices are going to skyrocket for them if Iran can't get oil out of their country, and they can't. The U.S. has, pretty much stopped that from happening. Same with Israel. See along the line. Comments on X are fucking insanely unhelpful. Okay, still on here. The other country that was a big supplier to Iran or China is Venezuela. Not a coincidence. They're intentionally doing that. It's about cutting off China's oil supply. Now they're best friends with Russia, and Russia has a massive oil supply. But in the end, really, what does this mean for you? It means your oil prices are going up. Here's more videos. This is from Hezbollah, which is in the north of Israel. So, as far as I know, Israel's received a lot of fucking bombs, man. But again, we can't know the damage because they refuse to release that stuff. There's still a lot of. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. There's still a lot of contest over the Strait of Hormuz on whether or not it's actually open or not. Trump said it was open. They said the U.S. tankers just had no guts. U.S. tanker went through, immediately was hit with a explosive drone boat. I believe this is that one. Again, a lot of oil goes through the Strait of Hormuz. So pretty much all the footage I show you just means your oil prices are going up. I saw this old one. It's crazy. Those look like UFOs, but they're cluster bombs. So a Thai ship was also hit. And again, honestly, just means your oil prices are going up. That's all it really means. Your oil prices are going up. But this, what's crazy is this is a similar event to what started the Gulf War. Much noise. Bro, look at all the lights in the sky. Shit is so wild. So this is some of the aftermath of the... I believe this is in Tehran, Iran's capital. I mean, there's no way these are all military structures. Which again, I just don't understand at this point what you're bombing. Like, what are you bombing at this point? Have you not gotten all of the military structures? is your argument that they're putting up more? It seemed kind of retarded to fucking start building the whole ass. Why wouldn't you just exist under tunnels, in tunnels at this point? I would never, I would never leave underground, man. So this is a oil facility in Oman that was also struck. And again, it just means your oil prices are going up. It just means your gas prices are going up. I think Trump declared victory, which I don't know how or why. And Iran sent a fresh wave like just an hour ago. A lot of people were worried this one was a nuke. This is not what a nuke looks like, by the way. Trust me, if a nuke went off, you would know. We can detect nukes when they're used underground, deep underground, and that's how a lot of them are tested, is underground. It's illegal. This is not a nuke. You would know there's a nuke. You can detect nuclear radiation spikes even on small scales using tons of like civilian infrastructure, labs on colleges and shit. If there is a nuke, you would know. It's not a nuke. It is a big explosion. But it's not a nuke. Not a nuke. All right. So the big one is the rumor that Benjamin Netanyahu was killed, which how do I say this? I don't believe it, or he was injured. I don't believe it because it'd be too good to be true. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It would be too good to be true. Okay, sorry. Like, I just don't know how this guy gets fucking taken out. There's a lot of evidence for it. So there's this picture that is circulating online right now. I don't know if it's real or not, to be honest. I haven't seen a lot of people saying it's AI, of course. Nope, AI, CGA, fake crap. This guy commented like 80 times. Let's see. We can see if we can try and detect here if it is. Don't know. I just see a lot of people saying it's AI. However, normally the way I tell, you can't. It'll be impossible to tell from this unless there's something very extremely obvious. But normally these pictures get community noted if it's real or not. I haven't seen any of these pictures get community noted. But again, who the fuck knows? The biggest evidence is this. Well, there's two. One, a video was shortly posted. We're gonna watch it after the suspicion started. I believe it started March 6th during one of those waves. And there's a video of him talking, and man, the video is it's edited like crazy at minimum. And there's a lot of artifacts and kind of some small indicators of AI use. We'll go through it. I'll point them out. And this here, where there's a cabinet meeting. Israeli cabinet meeting, and a lot of people are missing, including Bibi. So, let me just, for those who don't, follow that type of content. The thing is, he's very similar to Trump in that he likes to go on TV. He talks a lot. I mean, he usually gives speeches at least once a week, but he's also a very egotistical guy. So, if people were saying he was dead, and he's not showing up immediately to dismiss it, in English, he likes to talk to the American people, like he's our president. And I will follow that up with another comment. If Braden was here, he'd be like, well, he is. So he likes to talk to us, and he likes to talk shit. And if he were still alive, to be honest with you, I suspect that he would be on TV every single day just talking shit, because that's what he likes to do. He loves to talk shit. There's only been one video. We're going to show it. It looks like AI to me. We'll cover it. But the rumor is that he was either killed on March 6th during a wave of Iranian bombs, or that he was injured and he got evac to Germany, which I think I'm leaning a little more towards that one. But man, I don't know if there's another. I'm not saying it's me, but I don't know if there's been a person as hated as this guy. I feel like there'd be a lot of cheering if this were true. There's also there was a post from an Israeli social media account, a government one, that said he was still alive, blah blah blah, and then it got taken down. So I don't know. There's a lot of evidence for it. It's hard to say. To me, it's like it just sounds too good to be true. The other possible thing that could have happened is that it's very intentional that he wants them to think he's dead, so that way they stop targeting him. And on top of that, obviously, it's to avoid his corruption trial. So maybe this is his fucking exit strategy: start a war, drop out, pretend to have died, and avoid a corruption trial. So I don't know if we can watch the full video, but this is the biggest indication to me that it's AI. Let me see if I can find the full video first. Benjamin Netanyahu? What? Let's see, a full video. Come on. Okay. God, I love how useless this fucking application is. Brother, I just want to see the video. It's kind of funny that I can't even find it. Okay, yeah, this is the video, I believe. This is March 12th.
Be it in terms of enemies and friends, and Israel much stronger than ever. Everyone recognizing that, and our neighbors, both enemies and friends, recognize this fact. I have promised you.
Yeah, so he goes through this list. Where's the video, brother? Is this the whole video? So you can see here, this is the video. It's still only a part of it, but you can see here, you see teeth missing, right? On the right side.
Citizens of Israel, my brothers and sisters, we are in historic
I don't know.
days that will be written in the annals of Israel. In Operation Roaring
Maybe they're just hidden behind his lip there.
We are pummeling the Islamic regime in Tehran. We are pummeling its emissaries, Hezbollah in Lebanon. There's unprecedented.
And then they just kind of like spawn in. I don't know. He does have weird lips. Oh, they're there. I don't know, brothers and sisters. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is from the same video. It is weird. They do seem like they're fucking disappearing and reappearing. Ooh, it's a tough call, boys. It's a tough call. I'm not gonna lie. So, Braden and I have kind of talked about it off camera. We've hinted at it a few times on stream and on social media. But we're fucking entirely convinced that both of the ICE shootings against Preddy and Goodman, or Nicole, I can't remember her last name. I think it's Goodman. There was some AI footage involved, or at least some editing. Just both of those. I still cannot fathom. Yeah, the six-fingered man. But I mean, this teeth thing is way more. I think way more obvious that it's AI to me. I mean, his teeth seem like they're fucking disappearing and reappearing, and there's like more here. It's just so hard to tell with old people. That's the biggest problem. It's just so fucking hard to tell with old people, man. Fucking all of them look like they're wearing a mask to me. You can tell me this guy's wearing a mask. Look at his fucking skin. The teeth thing for me is like You know, maybe these are just dentures and it's just floating. I don't know. I don't know. He is alive. Why are you Indians such hardcore cucks? Okay, just calm down. Not that deep.
Citizens of Israel, my brothers and sisters, we are in historic days. Days that
Yeah, I'm trying to find the hands.
we are
His hands also look weird. I can't find the original video. It's kind of annoying me. Is it?
I have a message for the people of Lebanon.
No, that's an old video. I mean, as you can see, this guy loves to go on air. He loves to talk shit. He loves to do it in English. It's March 12th.
Be it in terms of
Watch his hands. So.
enemies and friends, and Israel much stronger.
Let me see if I can find it. I think I have it right here. Hopefully. There's also this. This is just the Israeli people out on the streets. It's also not uncommon, to be honest. The gum thing. So the hand thing, if I can find it again, was kind of disproven a little bit.
Important points I want to make clear
Watch
to
his
the
hand.
rest of the world. One,
Why is it edited like this? Hopefully this is the
I want
original.
to make clear to the rest of the
But his mouth is like moving weird. This is some classic AI behavior. Hopefully this is the original.
world. One,
Like that shit is so weird, man. Why? Look at this. What? Why is it edited like this? He couldn't say 5 points. I mean, the video is only, this is first minutes, but like, you know, it's only fucking 6 minutes long. He couldn't do a one take. They edited it. They literally edited every single time between 1 and 5. Every time he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he like rattles off some points. Each time is
the
edited.
world. One, I
Look at his fucking finger, man. What is going on here? Do you see this? What is this? Tell me you guys see this. This is... Does that look normal to you? What? Why does it look like that? Why is his fucking finger here running down into his middle finger? I mean, come on, right? I haven't even seen anyone point this out, by the way. Come on, man. Come on. It's gotta be AI. For those who are only listening, I know some of you on Spotify and YouTube only like to listen. I bless you. Bless you. It's Benjamin, the Prime Minister of Israel. And he's fucking like pointing his pointer finger up to the sky, but it looks like his pointer finger and his middle finger are conjoined. Like they're one. It's not normal.
am alive and well. All reports
This
of
could
me
be edited. Hold on. I need to find the original video. Because it would be bad for me if this is just fake. Benjamin Netanyahu. Speech. Okay, so this is... Alright, I have the OG. Let me just make sure I log into our fucking official account. This shit is so weird. Alright. 8-minute long. This is...
Citizens of Israel, my brothers and sisters.
Hopefully this
being
is the
dead
OG one.
are fake news. Two, we are winning this war. Let there be no doubt about it.
Like, his mouth. So, particularly when I'm looking for AI videos, there's a couple of indicators. A lot of people go to the hands. Hands kind of used to be the best way. I don't really know if they are anymore. I know we just pointed out what looked like an arrow with the hands. It's the mouth movement for me, and a lot of activity when it comes to the eyes. So the AI kind of has trouble making the mouth movement when it's giving speeches look very normal. You can see like kind of like a blur around it, especially around the edges. It looks like the inside is moving separate from the outside. And then it's the eyes, which you can kind of see the classic sign here, where the pupils tend to touch the sclera, excuse me, the whites of the eyes, which is, the sign you're having a stroke. And then AI likes to put these shiny little lights in the eyes. Now, obviously, the lights, it's kind of normal for TV actors, actresses, and when they're giving speeches because they have all these lights. However, even in this situation, slightly abnormal.
3.
But let's see.
The days of Iran are counted.
His mouth
4.
is so
I am
fucked up.
not the president of the United States of America.
I don't know.
5. We will continue this war until the threat has been abolished completely.
Why is it edited like this? Okay, let's go. Let's go to the YouTube one. Phew, he looks fucking ill here.
My brothers and sisters, we are in historic days. Days that will be written in the annals of Israel. In Operation Roaring Lion, our roar is growing and intensifying.
Okay, there's the hands that everyone keeps pointing at. I wish I could fucking see it without this retard bar in the way.
Days that will be written in the annals of Israel.
Alright, it's real convenient that the bar's covering his hands, huh?
Roaring Lion.
Fuck. I need to slow it down, sorry.
Days that will...
Come on. Where's the hands? Put your hand up. His hands just look weird too, man. His hands look off to me too. I haven't seen the 6-figure, or I saw one that had the 6-finger kind of thing going on. Yeah, those teeth. Here's another big one too that I saw when they were pointing out the hands. Good when it goes up. Hands look weird. I don't know, fellas. I don't know.
And without a doubt.
I mean, this has been used. This has been translated with AI. I just can't fathom making this mistake. This is the one I've seen a lot. Also, why can't I find the original video? I feel like it'd be really easy. Oh my God, this guy's so old. Again, I just feel like if he were alive, people were saying he was dead, he would spend every second in front of the camera. He wasn't at the cabinet meeting. Alright, I'm gonna put it back to normal speed.
That are changing the reality in the West Bank, in the Middle East and beyond. These achievements are increasing the status of Israel as a superpower more than ever. Through our power in opposition to the power of our enemies, this is what is.
So I've seen, dude. This is the other one that looks weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Apparently, this is like the fold of the bottom of his hand, though.
Achievements that are changing the reality in the West Bank, in the Middle East, and beyond. These achievements.
Fortunately, the Pandora's box has been open when it comes to
increasing the status of Israel
fake
as
footage.
Superpower more than ever. Through our power, in opposition to the power of our enemies, this is what is ensuring our survival. Our threats come and go, but when we become a region.
Iran is also reporting that he's been killed. So, I don't know. We'll find out eventually, I'm sure. I'm very much sure. This guy also, this Indian journalist, he also reported. Oh, so this guy's saying he revealed Benjamin Netanyahu's location. And he got arrested by the police. But I feel like if a reporter can expose where you are. Okay, so here it is. So he's reporting, and there's the Netanyahu you can see here. I think that's him. Yeah, it looks like him.
The latest that we are picking up is right now in one of the locations that was attacked. You can see just behind me, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has visited this place. This is one of the locations where a deadly attack took place. 9 people were killed, and there were, in fact, more than 25 who were injured out here. You could see Netanyahu, in fact, visiting this particular.
The other one is that his son has gone silent. I don't know him that well. Apparently, he tweets a lot, and he's not tweeting anymore. And they're saying that this is his body, Benjamin's body, getting taken away. I don't know, guys. I have no idea. Could be true. Again, once the technology has been exposed, I mean, people are just declaring everything as AI. I've seen people declare the whole ass Iran war as AI, and to be honest with you, I don't blame them at all. I very much, listen, you should be as open-minded as possible to the possibilities. The idea that the whole ass war is fake, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. But again, I don't know. I have no idea. Could be true. The biggest tell for me is that he just hasn't made as many appearances as he did before. And, you know, even when Trump was sick, he also took like a break from media, I think for like a week and a half or something. So these guys, it's trending. So these guys taking their breaks. Okay. These guys taking a break from media is usually the biggest indicator for me that something is not correct. Something's wrong. Iran, it would be wild if he had been killed by Iran, man. That would be a huge victory for Iran. I'll just say that much. The idea that they could do that much to their opponent like that, their biggest enemy, gonna embolden them too.
Criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts.
Yeah, that's not illegal. That is not illegal. We're gonna do some fucking country hopping here. I don't really like to do this, but I kind of want to keep the topics together. So this is there was an attack on a synagogue. Why is that there? Whoops. Synagogue in Michigan, I believe, where a guy in a truck plowed through the building and jumped out and opened fire. But there's a couple of things I want to point out before we get into the conspiracy stuff about it, because there's a lot. I just want to point something real quick out. The response to this happening was insane. I'll say this. I've never seen such a response from all of our enforcement agencies
that whole area is under lockdown. It should take a lot
in my life.
Some of the
You have this FBI guy on scene immediately in
That's a
military
FBI.
tactical gear.
Everybody's on the scene. We've
Even the reporter is quite confused about it.
under lockdown. It should take a live look at some of the. That's FBI.
That's FBI. That's not FBI. That's probably IDF, buddy.
Yeah, everybody's on the scene. We've seen FBI. We've seen local police. We've seen also the sheriff's department cars coming through. And as we're looking at this person,
How nice of them to call in the fucking military to deal with this attack on this Michigan synagogue. How amazing. God bless our agencies to protect these foreign intelligence agencies. Michigan Synagogue. These buildings. It's just weird. It's just real interesting how they only do this for so many. Okay, he went. Okay, who cares? I want to see the actual video of him driving through the building. This is the synagogue.
Earlier video of smoke coming from the synagogue, and there's a fire. Appears.
So the car. So he drives through the building with a truck. Apparently, it caught fire, and he had jumped out, and he was already pretty burned.
Smoke coming from the synagogue, what appears to be a fire, is all we can say at this point. He can kind of the area, so this does.
Yep. So you can see here. I thought they had actual footage of the car going through the building. I guess they don't. But let's go back here. So
he has his long gun. He is preparing ammo and everything, preparing to go. And when this is happening, it means that the situation is ongoing.
I have never seen the FBI show up during a school shooting in military gear. Not one time. Not a single. I've seen a ton of school shootings. I turned 31 this year. I've seen a lot of school shootings. I have never seen the FBI show up in fucking military gear ever.
He gears up.
Not one time.
The area is under lockdown. It should take a live.
Not one time. Look at all the fucking cars. I've never. Okay. False flag season. PSYOP season. Yeah. I've never fucking seen this much activity, man. Look at them all. Look at how many people showed up for this. Look at all of them. Look at how many fucking. Bro. Look at all of them. 30 at least. I have never in my entire life seen this much activity during a school shooting. Never. Never, 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 never. Not once in my life. There's a fucking army of people here. An army. They sent everybody. No wonder we're losing the war. They're currently protecting all the synagogues in America. What in the fuck is this?
From my office, which is near Telegraph Road and Square Lake, I have heard a constant stream of sirens.
Bro, he's panning the camera and there's more. Look at, bro, it's not even like, these aren't even cop cars. They're all SUVs. They're literally all SUVs. None of these are cop cars. Not one. There's not a single cop car in this shot. It's just all SUVs. This is insane.
My office, which is near Telegraph Road and
Holy fuck. It's one guy, by the way.
stream of sirens going by.
They sent everybody. Here's the fire department. Here's the fucking ambulances.
Police from all jurisdictions.
Bro, they heard that a synagogue was attacked and they fucking airdropped the U.S. Marines onto the building. Like it's an embassy getting held hostage.
From my
Holy shit. I've never seen that much activity ever. That's so wild. Holy shit. All right, now we'll jump into some of the brother. I mean, if that alone wasn't enough, why can't we get this activity when there's a school shooting? Or when there's any shooting on the planet? I don't even think the fucking US president has this much protection. Wild. Absolutely wild. But if this wasn't evidence enough of pretty much anything,
we can or could see, this is earlier video of smoke coming from the synagogue.
Bro,
and there's
the video
fire,
pause. What is going on? Holy shit. 2 months before this happened, this isn't the only evidence of, false flag or whatever the fuck that it's a setup or whatever. Just 2 months before this happened, there was an FBI-led training for this exact situation. Like down to the T.
Appears to be a fire. Smoke coming from the synagogue. What appears to be a fire is all we can say at this point.
Yeah, there's also some video coming into Fox 2 here of Oakland County Sheriff's members with
This is real. Yeah.
Assault rifles that appear to be approaching this, the area. So,
this has got to be. Nobody else on this planet gets this much protection. Nobody.
From my
Ever.
office, which is near Telegraph Road and Square
Wild.
Lake, I have heard a constant stream of sirens going by, so I have to...
God bless, you know who's. Jesus, man. So, the story goes, he crashed into the building. His car caught fire. He was already on fire. I guess they're saying, I don't know, this situation is weird. He goes and he buys $2,000 worth of fireworks, puts them in his truck, and then plows into the building. And I guess that's what they're saying caused the fire. Or, accelerated the fire. I don't know. I don't know what the official... I don't really care, to be honest with you. All you needed to do was show me that first video of just and the entire U.S. military fucking sky dropping into the area to protect the synagogue, and that would be enough for me. But yeah, apparently he buys $2,000 worth of fireworks, fills his truck, plows in the building, it causes a fire. He gets out of the truck. He is already quite burned at this point, which I guess is impressive that he can jump out of the truck while burned. And I believe he shot 2 people, killed 1. Maybe, don't quote me. Again, I don't particularly care past showing that first video. And then he was taken out. But, yeah, man. Yeah. So, last night, again, I'd taken a break from social media and just media in general and news. So, I didn't even notice, but I popped online to kind of catch up before Tuesday, which is when we normally do our episodes. And I had seen there were like 3 different explosions kind of happening on the same day, pretty major explosions. One was in Kentucky, Ohio, and Texas, I believe. They were different in terms of, the sources or causes, but it all is very war-pilled for me. So this is the one in Kentucky. I believe this one, the official cause is a tanker, I believe. We'll see. Yeah. So much fire. I feel like I've seen so much footage of big explosions and fire this year, and we're only 3 months in. I've seen nothing but things on fire. Just more apocalyptic scenes. So the I don't even know what to call it at this point, but the theory here is that it's Iranian quote sleeper cells, which are people who've been sent here to act normal until they are activated, and then they do an act of terrorism. And there was a call to, I forget what they call it. I keep calling it a call to jihadism. Iran had put out and said that if you were for the cause, you needed to jump in and act accordingly. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was that. This one is in Ohio. So this one here is the Kentucky one. This one here is in Ohio. I mean, just crazy. Maybe this is the tanker one. Yeah. What is this for comments? I swear to God, the comments are so funny. I wish I could determine whether or not they were real. Because then it would make it funnier. I just assume everyone's a bot on social media. You know, I mean, unless I have like a direct conversation with people, I'm just like, that's got to be a bot. It just has to be a bot. So the Texas one was a chemical plant. See if I can pull that one up. That one was pretty big. This is an oil tanker. Could be a coincidence. I mean, again, the media, the way media is done in general, and even algorithms, is like, you know, explosions happen all the time. Tankers fucking fall over, blow up. Happens all the time. We actually cover quite a few of them across the world. And honestly, if you looked at all the tankers blowing up in the world, you'd probably have a bunch every single day that you could sit and post and talk about. And then unfortunately, you start drawing these conclusions just because you think there's more of them happening than there actually are. And your feed is meant to do that, right? If you look at one explosion, oil tanker explosion, it's going to show you more. So it's always kind of hard to tell if it's just like, well, is this an increase in activity or is this normal? I'm pretty sure this is not normal, at least here in the US. I mean, these explosions are crazy. I'm also convinced that the Maryland, if you guys remember the Maryland-Baltimore bridge thing collapsing after a cargo ship crashed into it. Again, this is the one from Kentucky. I think that one was an Iran attack too. Still a lot of military activity off of that. But I'm pretty sure this is some more terrorism here. They just won't say it because they don't want Americans to freak the fuck out. Whenever there's stuff like this, the new meta is to try and silence as much as possible. There's been quite a few attacks on the US more than once. And they just kind of keep it quiet. They just pretend it's not happening. I mean, these are pretty crazy. And in Kentucky. And these were within 24 hours of each other. This one, again, is the same from Kentucky, just from another perspective. Pretty crazy. Trying to see if I can pull up the Texas one. Yeah, this is the Texas one. The other thing is that, okay, what's going on here? The other thing is that they kind of went under the radar.
Fox 26 Houston reporter Randy Wallace live on the scene of this industrial fire. This is happening in LaPorte. The facility is located on Chayote Road by Bay Area Boulevard. Multiple agencies from LaPorte to Pasadena and Harris County responding to the scene. First responders calling this a flaring at the Lyondell Basel plant in Pasadena. So this is an industrial plant fire. Officials do say that no one nearby has to take any action.
You just let it burn itself out? What's the ideology there? Yeah, I don't know. There were 3 of those kind of back to back. We would never know. They love to keep that shit quiet. Oh, what is this?
Don't do it! I'm gonna change you!
It's like it's shooting.
Hey, back up, get on the other side. I will shoot you. Drop that gun right now. Drop that gun right now.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead. Take your hand off that fucking gun now! I can't see. Hurry up, Concho. I can't see. Hurry up.
He's pulling it. Okay, don't fucking move. Don't. Drop it. Drop it. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Please stop. Don't do it. I'm gonna tase you.
Oh my god. Welcome to America, buddy.
Shots fired. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm gonna tase you.
Oh my goodness, his hand went up. What's crazy, it looks like his hand went up because he got tased there. But maybe he was, I mean, he's definitely had his hand on the gun. Woo. You ever see someone get fucking executed like that before? Look at this. I've seen firing squads with less people. Oh my god. I love how the protocol is just to dump your mag. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong or right. Just saying 8 people dumping their mags. This guy is fucking Swiss cheese. Iran is now saying that all countries are welcome to pass the Strait of Hormuz, except the U.S. and Israel. Yeah, okay. He's normally, again, Benjamin Netanyahu is almost always at these meetings. Oh, maybe Epstein Files video? I have seen this one just popping up today. Who are they trying to say this is? Who is this? Am I supposed to know immediately? Am I just not in the fucking... Who is it? Like, everyone else is like, who is that? Yeah, I mean, I would say it looks like Putin, but like... not close enough. Yeah, that's not Putin. Anyone? Okay, nobody knows who the fuck it is. Nice fucking clickbait. Let's see. That's Jeffrey Epstein. That's not Epstein, brother. It's Rocker. Oh, okay. Kamala Harris's husband. Is it? I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Does it matter? He's not getting arrested. He's not getting arrested. This is a cool FPV drone from one of Iran proxy groups. Alright, the music is unnecessary. Gonna see kind of how these things are flown. So they just fly in and they look for a target. And once they find one, they attack. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oi. Ugh. I find it something so interesting is that the Russian ones have to have these optic fiber lines connected to them. But these don't? Are they that outdated? Oh, or the theory is that the US uses jammers, but why don't we use jammers against these? I don't understand. We also have some pretty crazy news from the war in Ukraine too, or just like the warfare in general. I'm kind of saving it for last here. You can see just looking around for a target, just loitering. Pretty crazy shit. We have Switzerland. The Switzerland government, so the U.S. asked Switzerland to use some of its airspace in the war. This is I think it's the 3rd European country we've asked to allow the use of their airspace for our own aircraft. Us as in the U.S. And of course, they said no. It decided to permit 3 flights. Interesting. So yes to some and no for others. I just want to point this out because I hate talking shit about Europe, But man, at the same time, I just listen. I'm not gonna like sit here and argue whether or not the war is justified at all. But if my buddy, if my ally, I'm out with a buddy at a bar, and a fight happens between him and some other dude, I'm probably gonna help out. It's so interesting that we call the EU our allies when we ask for assistance and they kind of deny us repeatedly, even though they had nonstop asked us for help with the Ukraine stuff. I can go into a long spiel about it. I could. I won't. But I do think the American sentiment now for Europe is not so good. Maybe Europe's don't care. Maybe they want that. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. But I will say the American attitude towards Europe has changed a lot. And again, it's because of how they are and how they've acted. You can't simultaneously beg us for as much help as possible. And we give a lot of help, most of which has gone under the news, under the radar, the news radar. It doesn't get reported. We do a lot of helping. We do a ton of helping. A lot of the energy needs for Europe is currently being determined. The supply is currently being determined by America. They'll never say that out loud, but it is. The LNG supplied by America. You know what that means for Americans is that we pay increased prices. That's what that means. A lot of what we do, a lot of our costs are increased because we help Europe. And all we ask is to use your airspace on one of our missions, whether or not the mission is justified or not. Crazy to say no. And Europe loves to play the we're individuals, but we're together. So it's not when they're in a group, the way they are a federation, the way they are, Switzerland can play the card of, and this is what they all do. You don't have to use my airspace. You can use, Turkey's airspace. Why don't you ask Turkey? Turkey says, well, why don't you ask Italy? And this is what they do. They play this ping pong of we're, as a group, we're helping, but as individuals, they're not at all, and they love it. And then America's also just expected to front the bill when it comes to. I mean, we're about to talk about it right now. To be honest, I'm fucking transitioning into it right now, and we're just expected to pay extra to help them out. It's mental. But whatever. So we have the first official use of humanoid robots in war. And it's from an American company, and it's in Ukraine, and it's these here. They're called the Phantom MK1 robots, humanoid robots. The company is called Foundation, and these are meant to, quote, scout, specifically trenches. But they can face tank buildings too. This is the age of warfare we're in. It's lasers, robots, and AI. I don't know if this is a real image, but here's let's say it can't totally operate a gun. Even it being able to face tank the trenches and scout ahead to see if there's anyone around corners. Even that in itself is extremely useful for obvious reasons. But we have the first official use. And if you want to know how much the U.S. is banking on this, kind of a rumor, sort of something I pieced together on my own. But Tesla, obviously they're making the Optimus humanoid robot. They've already closed, I think it's like 1 or 2 Tesla car factories closed them, quotations. They're changing them specifically to make these robots. So they're not going to do that unless they already have the market for it. And maybe a lot of people are pre-ordering the Optimus robot. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's the U.S. military who is like, look, this is what we need. We need a lot of them. Get started ahead of time, for the you-know-what. And this is them testing, well, it's not Optimus, but it's another company testing these humanoid robots. Cool. It is cool. Sorry. I love technology. It is sick. This fucking robot holding a gun. Holy halibut. So wild. And there's something else I wanted to show you guys. Palantir. Let's see if I can find it. I thought I had recorded it, but unfortunately I did not. Kind of unlucky. Yeah, here it is. This is software Palantir has made. I know all the Palantir stuff, guys. I know. And basically it's a interactive hub for control and command.
Software as a service product that we are deploying across the entire department. As you can see, it's not just
all of these videos randomly stopping.
It's multiple. And instead of having 8 or 9 systems for those decision makers to look at every single day in order for them to make decisions, you then fuse it into a single visualization tool. The single visualization tool allows you to select, deselect different types of data, look at different approaches to data, but more importantly, action from the same system that you're trying to develop your workflows around. Once you have a detection that you want to actually move into a targeting workflow, for example, this is what we do. Left click, right click, left click, magically, it becomes a detection. That detection then gets moved into a workflow. This is standard digitized workflow, but I want to walk you through it quickly. You have different types of targets that are identified on the left there. Every single column produces a different type of decision-making process. Once you have that decision and you're trying to actually action that process, we now move into COA generation, course of action generation, where we are automatically, via a number of factors, trying to identify what the best assets to prosecute a target looks like. Once we've got the different approaches and we select one, we then can move directly into how do we action that target. So we've gone from identifying the target to now coming up with a course of action to now actioning that target.
Holy shit. He's kind of glossing over something specific. Actually, he's glossing over 2 things. A, the software has the ability to tap into whatever cameras are within these cars. I mean, they're specifically showing trucks. Computer vision detected. So that's the first thing.
Action.
The second thing
system that you're trying to develop
is that the AI is determining the targets or suggesting the targets. Somebody had posted this a while ago, but they were saying that eventually what it would look like is there would be these quick flashes of targets, and then basically an operator would just hit approve or deny. And this is the in-between stage of that for sure. So currently it looks like the person somewhat has to select the target and then approve the strike.
Standard digitized workflow, different type of decision-making process. Once you get actioning that target,
holy shit,
all from one system. This is revolutionary. We were having this done in about 8 or 9 systems where humans were literally moving detections left and right in order to get to our desired end state and kill chain.
It's the future of warfare. Basically, it's just StarCraft. If you've ever played StarCraft or any other RTS, it's basically the future of warfare. It's kind of wild. I definitely see a world where gamers kind of take over. Palantir, by the way, Palantir and NVIDIA have also partnered to create an AI software, which, fuck, that sucks. God, that fucking blows, man. Why? Lastly, we have some reports from Cuba, some protests in Cuba. There's a widespread blackout again. This is not uncommon, so without going crazy into the history of Cuba, currently suffering from large amounts of oil shortages because they also got a lot of their oil from Venezuela and Iran and Russia. The U.S. has enacted a blockade, basically, even though it was already kind of one in place in the first place. And basically it's resulted in massive amounts of blackouts. So they're currently protesting. Obviously, the U.S.'s goal is to get the communist regime out of there, but you can see, kind of the it's communist. I believe it's the Communist Party's headquarters. That could be wrong. Or it could be fake news, who knows. Nothing really crazy new here. This happens a lot. Can see them protesting. All of the news I've ever heard from Cuba the past few years has just been terrible. A lot of it's because of the socialist nonsense. Huge shortage of doctors, and just nobody wants to take the high training jobs because they don't get paid anything more than you would in picking wheat out of the ground, so you just can't be bothered. Not to mention police shoot a 16-year-old protester. Damn. Yeah, I mean, you can see. I didn't even see this footage earlier. A lot. God. My goodness. All right, I think that's it for me. Yeah, it's a smaller episode. I just wanted to cover the Benjamin Netanyahu thing. I'll let you guys know once I get some official reporting on that end. I imagine it's kind of soon, to be honest with you. They can only go so long with either he is dead or he is alive, or they need to prove one of those two things. What's this? U.S.-based TikToker is under fire for giving Iran coordinates to strike U.S. Patriot system. Yeah, I mean, that's not very nice. There is no shortage of war footage. There's a smaller story. This is both being overblown and underreported, but a dude spent, like, I think it was $4,000 to get the genome of his dog's tumor, the DNA of the cancer cells that caused a tumor in his dog. He had them sequenced. Just $3,000 to sequence it. And then he had a custom rmRNA, mRNA cancer vaccine to save his dog. Which, even if it was 3 times that amount, I mean, that's insanely cheap compared to what most cancer treatments are. I know cancer treatments can go well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So being able to sequence the DNA for just $3K and then have the mRNA vaccine. mRNA vaccines are extremely cheap to make. There's a lot of science as to why, but they are extremely cheap to make, which is why a lot of pharmaceutical companies are trying to pivot towards them. There's also a lot of terrible side effects for these vaccines, the mRNA vaccines, which obviously the COVID one is the first, I think, major widespread use of one, and we're kind of just now seeing a lot of studies done on the side effects of that. But there are some pretty large scale benefits, like this guy being able to cheaply save his dog from cancer. It's kind of wild. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, a lot of people would rather live with some side effects than to just fucking die from cancer. So it could be an opening of the floodgates. But yeah, super cheap. Only $3K. Paid $3K to sequence the DNA. Then he used, this guy is kind of underselling how much was done. It was a combination of, I think it was ChatGPT and Google AlphaFold, which is a medical biology AI, to create the vaccine. And yeah, saved his dog's life. I believe they said they saw a 75% reduction in tumor size, which is astounding news. It's like really good news. Normally, something like that would cost, a trial like that would cost, this guy says, $1 billion. It's a little cheaper, but still way more. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. That could be a large-scale cascading effect where people who are desperate for a cure and you know, again, it has its side effects. The mRNA vaccines have their side effects. Not good. But when you're facing death, you'd probably rather face those side effects than you would die. And if you can go to a lab, pay $4K to have the DNA of the cancer cells sequenced, quickly run it through an AI system. It takes about 3 days to get the mRNA vaccine developed, at least the formula for it. I don't know how much it costs to develop the formula itself and then cure yourself. Damn, bro, that's crazy. It's so fucking cheap. That's wild. That's so much cheaper than what we normally do. Crazy. Drone strike, U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. Yeah, so the war is kind of spilling over into Iraq. Big surprise there. There's a couple of accounts I follow for news. One of them is this. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for me. Thanks again for tuning in. Always love the support. Again, Gary Con in a couple days here. It's not for the show. It's not for Pixels Politics. It's for my friend's business. Please, if you can, for whatever reason, and you see this and you're there, stop by and say hi. It'll make my fucking year if one of you comes by and says hi. I would be so happy. It'd be awesome. You'd make me look good. I'd be appreciative. And it'd be fun to meet one of you guys. That is it for me. Thanks again for the support, the follow, the views. I love it all. We are kind of getting hard. Every time I say, oh, we're getting hard stomped by the algorithm because we talk shit. And then we usually just start the episode by talking shit about the you-know-who's, about the Foreign Intelligence Agency. It's so funny. So any form of interaction is, helps us a ton. But even then, just when I first started the channel, I was happy when we got fucking like 10 views, to be honest. I was like, that's so cool. Just imagine 10 people sitting in a room listening to you talk for an hour plus. I mean, that's awesome. That's so cool. And now we're at thousands, which is absurd to me. But I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. And the comments just make me laugh, to be honest with you. I love reading the comments. You guys are fucking funny. And a lot of you are much smarter than I am. A lot of you are much smarter than me. You know all the little details behind what's going on. So I love that too. But yeah, I'll see you guys actually in a couple days. I am going to do a video on the day that I'm leaving. I'm gonna fucking stay up all night. I'm gonna do the episode that night that I'm going to the airport. and then I'm going to edit and drop the episode, and then go to the airport. I won't miss a Tuesday. I refuse. So, yeah, again, thanks again, guys. I will see you in a couple days here. Hopefully, we get some solid reports on whether or not he's alive or dead, and I'm probably not going to be able. I was trying to hold in my thoughts and opinions about, his possible death. I don't think I'll be able to hold it in once it's official, but I'll let you guys know. And thanks again. Goodbye, everybody.